5 serious consequences of stress for the brain. Many people don't consider the serious repercussions of suffering from long-term or chronic stress, but the consequences can be dire. During chronic stress, the stress hormone cortisol shrinks the hippocampus, which regulates memory, while increasing the size of the amygdala, a brain region that's deeply entwined with emotional reactions. This makes the brain primed to respond to the fight-of-flight stimulus and make decisions based on emotions, as opposed to working memory and logic. Chronic stress increases oxidative damage in the brain. Glutamate is a neurotransmitter whose production is amplified under the influence of cortisol. And as glutamate increases, so does the generation of a reactive oxygen species that actively damages cells. These oxygen species attack and cause brain cells to die, and they're implicated as a contributory factor in the development of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Things would not be so dire if following oxidative damage new cells were formed, but stress shuts this down as well. In particular is a protein named BDNF, which stimulates the formation of new brain cells, and that is suppressed by cortisol. This speeds up aging and deterioration of the brain, and can explain why some people experience significant cognitive dysfunction under high stress. Stress negatively affects levels of neurotransmitters, which have critical and established roles such as regulating mood and sleep patterns. Cortisol provokes depletion of 2 of these, serotonin and dopamine, which leaves you lethargic and unable to experience pleasure in everyday life, often resulting in depression, panic attacks, binge eating, and even suicidal thoughts. Stress affects the brain's blood-brain barrier, which is a line of defense against toxins and pathogens that cause disease. Under prolonged influence of cortisol, this barrier becomes much more lenient, allowing more unfavorable elements to enter the brain. Stress reduces the plasticity of the brain, which means that while under normal circumstances, it's very able to learn and grow as a response to stimuli. For example, someone who learns a new highly technical skill has neurons that are more tightly interconnected for those tasks. And with practice, this network grows even stronger. But under chronic stress, it becomes increasingly difficult to retain or to learn. Getting your stress under control is imperative for your body, spirit, and your mind.